Welcome back, everyone, to Master of the Universe podcast. We got Chris and Gabe. Gabe's back, dude. How are you liking this whole getting drunk on a Thursday game?
No, it's fucking great.
Is your name Gabe or what, dude?
Oh, I didn't know who you were at. I thought that was an inside joke on that. Okay, my bad.
Man, I wish I could get drunk right now, but no, not today.
Not today. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming back on, dude. We're having fun on here. I like having you on here conversing about horror movies. You're like one of those dudes that always keeps up with news, and you'll send me these things. And I laugh because I'm like, man, I would have never known this shit. Because you'll said so and so's coming here, so and so's coming there. Do you have any news for us, dude, or the horror fans that are in San Antonio about any gas station gimmicks and shit?
Oh man, well, definitely. I've been seeing like a whole bunch of little. Like one of the things for being a big fan of like horror movies, it's really great. Like seeing these guests actually pop up. They're popping up like all over Texas. You got Houston Horror Film Fest, but they got it called a Pop Market, and that's actually happening this weekend. And what's great about that is like, one of my favorite actors, the guy who plays Tommy Jarvis, is going to be there. From Jason Lives.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, Part 6. Oh, so I thought that was great. So I was like, yes, I'm all down for that one.
Chris's favorite.
Okay, the part 6 Tommy Jarvis and Corey Feldman are the two best Tommy Jarvis, because there were like 3 or 4 of them, right?
There's 3.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
There's that weirdo from Part 5, dude.
Yeah, that guy was like, that dude was whack, but...
Man, that fool whack, yo.
I'm from the northeast side. I can't help it.
But
there's also that the cult classic con. They said that on June 19th and 20th, the guy who played the Tar Man, if you know from Return of the Living Dead, you know the damn.
The Tar Man, yeah.
The barrel.
Brains.
Yeah, well, he'll be there doing autograph signing too.
That's fucking badass.
That's pretty neat. I just got an announcement though, or not personally, but like
they notified you. They notified you just you by email, dude.
they already know me, man. So they go ahead and said Cult Classic. Their little mini con. They're gonna have June 19th and June 20th. Suzanne Snyder. Now this girl was from Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
A classic.
I've seen that one.
He was also in Weird Science and Return of the Living Dead 2. So yeah, that girl's gonna be there. So
obviously, Weird Science. Obviously not Kelly LeBrock. Someone else, right?
What?
Not Kelly LeBrock.
Weird Science is obviously not Kelly LeBrock. It's some other girl from there, right?
Oh no, it's the other girl.
Come on, Chris. That's it's a joke. That's a joke. And then they're doing like was it a remake of, they're redoing the Resident Evil shit, dude? I'm excited about that.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, I saw a little tidbit on that, since this is going to be a reboot of the Resident Evil movie, they're going to try to squeeze part 1 and part 2 of the video games. They're just going to try to mash them both into like one movie. And I can only assume if this actually does very well, you know, they're probably going to go ahead and take this a little bit further, go into the whole Nemesis.
Yeah, I love the video games. I was telling you that I was playing the remakes on Steam, and I love those games. Like the games are done so well that like the movies, like I'll watch them just because like I like horror, but I'm not a real big fan of the movies. But they're action, so I kind of just watch them anyway, kind of like the '80s cheese, you know. But I would love for them to be done like the way the video games are, dude, because they're done like really badass, like the tone and everything that goes on in the video games for 1, 2, and 3. I'm a big fan of them all, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Anyway, this week, man, we're talking about Phantasm II. This one. Before we get into it, dude, Chris, I want you to give us like a synopsis from like beginning to end, just like a quick 2-minute thing of what's going on with this film, and like all the bullshit, and then we'll break it down and do what we do, son.
Done. I mean, it's basically it's same as Halloween 2. It's where they're picking right up from where they left off, and you're seeing right from where the first one ended, and they're picking up from there, and they're going beyond that. Only now there's a fast forwarding. They say 7 years later. It would have been better if they would have said like 9 or 10 years later, because that ain't no 19-year-old right there. I'm telling you that right now. But the other thing is,
did you see the penis on that guy?
I know exactly.
Chris.
The other thing too. So this supposed 19-year-old and this bald middle-aged ex-ice cream vendor, because of the bald middle-aged ex-ice cream vendor's house and family getting destroyed, and Mike getting out of the damn asylum. They're going to be men on a mission here. They're going to go on a mission to start fucking looking for the tall man, hunting him down, and seeing the devastation that he causes, and hopefully kill him or die trying.
Very good. Yeah. So basically, that's all it is, dude. So I heard y'all bullshitting a little bit about it when I was trying to get my audio working here, and it's funny because like part one has like a special place in my heart because it's like I've seen it so many times. But when I was watching this one, I was like, man, this is a really good movie. It's like, it's like you actually know. You don't know what's going on, but you just know that they're after the tall man. You know what I mean? Because there's so many characters. Like I know it's probably the same amount of characters as the first if you count person per person. But this one actually feels like there's people there that you're actually meeting, not just real quick. Like the way part one is, you're like, who the fuck is this person?
And I gotta tell you, man, we gotta give the tall man justice here, man. It's just not fucking fair, man, because you see all these memes on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Everyone's talking about singing the praise and the glory of the big three. Freddy, Jason, and Michael Myers. What about Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and the fucking tall man? Give the tall man his due, you fucks.
What about Nancy, dude? Nancy should be in the big five, dude. Nancy just take over the list by herself, man. That's what I'm talking about.
She's not gonna terrorize it. She's just gonna, no show or cancel. Or
that's the worst kind of terrorizing, dude. So
maybe with some trauma.
Leave you with trauma, daddy. Jesus. So this one's when I first saw me. I don't know. This is your first time seeing it, right, Chris?
Yeah, this was my first time seeing it, exactly.
So let me just tell you about my experience with this one, and then y'all can go around and then we'll get more into the movie. So when I first saw part one, like I saw the cover and I was like, man, this movie looks crazy because it's the red background. And then I saw this one, I'm like, it got me more interested because it directly has the tall man on there. You know what I mean? It has the ball, and you're like, okay, I'm interested. And then I put it on, and like as a kid, like again now we know all the story on James LeGros, or we'll talk about it at least. But I'm there seeing it, I'm like, where the fuck's the real Mike? Where's the real Mike? As soon as this film starts, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So it kind of like turned me off as a kid, like, because I'm like, well, that's not the real Michael. I knew right away, But it's so badass with all the new weapons and everything. As watching it as a kid, I was like, wow, this is cool. Regardless, because it's got like a lot of action, and I was like, this is a fun horror film. I think it's probably one of the first like horror films that I was like, this is like fun. It's not just scary or whatever the fuck. So,
man, I have to agree with you on the weapons. Like when I saw Reggie put together 2 shotguns, like he just like welded that stuff together, or I don't even think he welded it together. I think he just like strapped it on.
Yeah, he had that strapper. Yeah, that strap thingy.
Yeah. The quad barrel shotgun.
Yeah. Oh man, that thing was awesome. But it was terrible because he waited throughout the whole movie for him to actually use it, and he only used it once.
Yeah.
So, man, I was hoping not to make this more of an action movie, or I guess, but I wanted to see him actually shoot that thing off like multiple times, even just for any damn reason, even if it was just his own shadow just scaring the hell out of him. I wish he would have just used it.
Yeah.
That thing was bad.
Yeah, it made me mad too. I noticed it when he was like towards like the end-ish or whatever. Yeah, he shoots the 4 gimmicks and then like he just throws it. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, what is? Like, just reload it, Reggie.
He had that big stuff of shells on him. I don't see why he couldn't just. What was the point of all those shells then?
Yeah, the throwing it away, that pissed me off, and then the pulling up right up to the hurt. Well, we'll get into it later, but and then being scared. He's like, "What the fuck, man? You got this badass fucking thing. You got this satanic, demonic being. What the fuck, man?"
So when you put this on, dude, Chris. So this is your first time seeing it after watching part 2. Were you like, were you like really looking forward to this? And then what did you think about it when you saw it for the first time, even though you watched it like twice now?
Dude, I was, because anytime you have a movie end like part 1 did, if you know there, if you then find out there's a sequel, it's like, okay, what are they? Like, I think of it from a writer's mindset, from a storyline writer's mindset, from a literary critic mindset. What are they going to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to explain? How is this character going to recover? So, like, I'm just intrigued by that. Though, when they leave you on a cliffhanger like that one did, you're dying to see how they pick up and move forward.
Yeah. No, I did enjoy it because it moves kind of quick. I mean, when I put this on, like, I guess we'll just get into it now, man. It's like I put it on, and like the basic like first, I guess like 20 minutes is. Yeah, we kind of. I love the fact that we get to see what happens when Mike gets pulled through the glass, and then you just see the little gremlin motherfucker dragging him through the house, and then like they're Reggie's fucking trying to save Mike, and they end up blowing up the house and all kinds of crazy shit, and then Mike's in the fucking mental hospital. They're releasing him, and then all of a sudden he's digging up graves. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this happened quick.
But okay, can I just say something here? Something this is one of my critiques, and I like the movie. It was fun, but this isn't I'm talking not from a did Chris Karam, get his jollies, get his rocks off watching the movie. Did he have fun watching the movie? I did. But here's from a writer's perspective. Okay, or director's perspective in this case. Reggie's in the second story of the house. He turns the corner. He looks from the camera, because the camera is now his eyes, his perspective. He looks right at the tall man, and the tall man saw him. He just goes right back to hiding behind that corner, and the tall man just goes about like nothing even happened. If you're a powerful villain like that, and someone who could oppose you looks right at you, and you just act like they're not even there, come the fuck on, man.
The tall man was buzzing, dude.
I think like one of the tidbits that kind of bothered me about this movie. I love the movie. Actually, this one's like, for me, this is like way better than the first one. Only because I'm following along with the damn story, and I just like all these little things about it. But one of the things that actually did bother me about this damn movie was that Reggie comes back, and Mike's a lot older now. In the movie, he actually says he's like 19 years old.
Yeah.
Darn kid doesn't even look 19 years old, but he went through some hard times or something.
It looks like he was ready to start a 401k and shit already.
He was. He's already a lot older. But what bothered me is that he's coming on, like you said, he's already digging up graves. He meets up with Reggie, but then the darn kid actually starts motivating Reggie into like, look, we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and look for the tall man. We're going to do... He's making plans. He's the leader in this movie.
Yeah.
I understand, like, even at the end, like, when they're showing, like, the credits, it even says, like, Mike is actually, like, the star. This guy is, like, the leader. But, like, throughout this whole movie, I was thinking to myself, what bothers me, I was like, well, Reggie's, like, a little bit older, and he should have, like, a little more sense, or at least a little more authority over this kid.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with him, he was concerned that this kid has been in the hospital. I think he said for, what was it, 8 years? I think he was in that psychiatric hospital for like 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so you would think Reggie would be a little more concerned, like, hey,
yeah.
I shouldn't be following this like nutcase. He's probably a little loony. He thought the house blew up the first go around. But then even though the house does blow up like the second, all of a sudden he's starting to have premonitions. But still, I don't know what makes Reggie, being more,
Yeah, it takes like a backseat. Yeah, it takes like a backseat to Mike's, craziness.
He goes along for the damn ride.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah, and he should say something. He should say, no, I don't think we should do this. You're thinking a little too crazy, and no, he just goes along. Does Gimmick Mike actually ever drive the CUDA? I think Reggie drives the CUDA the whole time, even though the CUDA was Mike's brother Jody's, from the first one that he gifted or whatever, gave it to. I don't know how Reggie ended up with it, but he got the CUDA, dude, and then Mike doesn't drive it. So I was like, okay. Yeah, that was the same damn thing. Like I said, he ends up with Well, the kid's in the hospital. The other brother is gone. He died.
I guess the car's
I get all
mine.
their stuff. Yeah, I get all their stuff. Well, my stuff.
I'm glad you brought that up, dude. Like that whole like clairvoyant, and they both like. Well, the film starts off with some other chick, named Liz, and I wink at Gabe, and I'm like, who's this chick, and she's pretty, like, as a kid I didn't find her attractive because it's just like, I don't know, you have certain things, but like as I'm older I was like, damn, Liz, what's going on? I was like, this chick's, she's like way hotter, and it was funny because when I was a kid I used to like the other chick. I think her name's Alchemy. I guess they're all doing wizards and shit. This whole thing.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I liked her more. But now I'm like, man, this Liz Reynolds chick. I was like, she gets over. I'd be down. But the film starts off with her that she's like seeing visions of Mike, and then when we get to Mike, he talks about, I see this girl, Reg. She's in my dreams and all this and that, dude. So I was kind of like laughing at that because I was like, man, this film, like I agree with you, Gabe, when you said like this one's better. Like I like part one better because it's like I said, it's part one. I've watched it many times, but this is a better film. Like this is something like easier to watch, and it's just like it's just done better.
You're just going along with it.
Yeah.
There's not too much of second guessing compared to like the first one. Like I said, the random maid that popped out of the house.
Yeah.
No idea who
Yeah.
that was.
All that.
This one's limited cast, but I mean, still, at least they're making some kind of, effort to say like who these characters are. Oh, but you know what was the neat part though about this damn movie though? If you thought about it, if you had to pay damn attention to this damn movie compared to the first one. Remember all the damn doors that were in the first one? Okay, they were like dark as shit. You can even see their damn face.
Oh yeah.
This one,
yes.
Part 2, you get to see all that ugliness. They
right away
faces
too.
Are sticking out. Yeah,
right away.
You see one of them like chomping, trying to bite at Reggie, like dead ass, like face, all frontal teeth, eyes and everything. Like,
yeah, the very ending, right, when they're in that dimension shit, and then like it's coming out of the thing and it's crawling towards Reggie and it's got the drippage all over it.
The awesome part about that, which I got excited about, was because that exact same that dwarf that came out of that barrel that was coming after Reggie, almost like it looked like he was going to kiss him or whatever.
Yeah.
That damn dwarf is the stunt double for Chucky, the original Chucky, Part 1.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, his name is Ed Dale.
Okay.
And, he was also in Dolly Dearest, and he was also in Howard the Duck.
I was gonna say, I was like, isn't he in Howard the Duck too? Oh, that's the one I did know because I was like, I know he's in someone thinks something else I know. I've seen Dolly Dearest, but I don't know he was in that. But yeah, fucking, that's pretty awesome. And yeah, when the funny one, because I forgot I should have rewound it, but I was laughing at it because I was watching a bunch of rewound, fucking go back to the VHS era. But I was laughing that whole part where Liz is like fucking I think she goes back to the funeral home because the tall man like tells her, save your grandmother, all this crap. And the grandma is like a fucking dwarf now and shit. And then she does something. What does she do? Because sorry, Grandma.
Yeah, the damn tall man. She's like running from that. She runs from the damn dwarf that's like trying to drag her off. So then she gets away from it and she runs and she hides around the corner. So all of a sudden there's like a vase or vase, whatever you want to call it. She grabs it and here comes the grandma dwarf running and she smacks it right in the damn face and like, oh.
Sorry, Grandma.
She looks at it and she's all, sorry, Grandma.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened because I forgot I had watched it like 3 or 4 times because I was doing shit. I was watching it, so like I would miss pieces. I'm like, well, let me go back to this part, and I remember seeing that, and I saw it like 2 different times. I kept on missing it. I like, I had just got the Oculus too, and I was like, shit. So I was like spreading my time was spread out. And I just remember hearing that, and I was like laughing. Sorry, Grandma. I was like, I didn't hear no gunshot. I was just telling myself, but was too fucking getting everything together to rewind that shit, but. Yeah, I think we see the face there too of the grandma, and I was just like, man, you see the face a lot in this film of those dwarfs, and like you said, the first one, you don't, I don't even think you see it at all. I think it's just black.
No, there's that hooded cover, that darkness shadowing. Like you don't see their faces of those druids.
The druids, yeah, that.
Oh man, well, I think it's more like of the, it's more of the tone of the first one that makes it like it's supposed to be real dark, real moody. It's supposed to be, it's supposed to give all that mystery type. And when you jump into the second one, well, we're already aware what happened in the first one. I think now part two is just more of expansion, like what me and Chris were talking about. It's just more.
Yeah.
They're all like, okay, we're just going to add more to the story, add more to the tall man, add more to... So, and that's really what part two seems to be more about, is just more of an expansion. Mm-hmm. But in all honesty, I mean, that's what I'm loving about this part two, is just like, I got more. Like, remember, I think there was a part one, there was only one of those sentinels, right? There was only one of the balls. In this one, you got three of them, and then one of them happens to be gold.
Yeah, that was the shit, dude.
So I mean, like, look, now they're adding more, and they added color. But it wasn't even just that it was gold. In your like, because like in the first one, remember, it stuck you with two blades, and then it would drill a hole into your head.
Yeah.
It would spew out all the guts. But what was neat though is that on the second one, they didn't only just do that. All of a sudden, now it came out with a little buzzing saw that cut. There's a priest in here, and they end up cutting off his ear. And then there's the gold one shoots lasers. I thought I was like watching The Predator for a minute. I was like, oh man, that thing was neat.
Yeah, the expansion of the dynamic of what the giant ball bearings that are kind of like heat sinking missiles. That was nice. I like that. You know what I wrote in my notes, that felt like when you're in these, I want to say labyrinths, but you're not. You're either in a mausoleum or wherever the fuck you're at, or in a funeral home, mortuary basement, or wherever it is you're at. But who remembers in Mario 3, whenever you'd go to the castles and those eyes that would follow you, and then if you turned around and looked at it, stop following.
The boo? Yeah.
I remember that.
The ghost.
I love that damn game.
That was a very
I was
good.
drunk. I wasn't drunk yet, but I was there with Chris the other night. I started singing one of them. I was humming one of the Mario songs. He's like, "Is that Mario 3?" And I was like, "Son of a bitch, it is."
Oh, there's a damn raccoon around here somewhere.
Yeah.
but that was very good. I like that. Like, I've said some critical things about this movie, but the ball bearings following people and it kind of being like a chase scene for like 10 minutes of them dodging these things, that was great.
It was. I have to agree. That was great. I love that.
Yeah. I have to mirror what you said, dude, about adding everything to it, and I think they do everything, a little bit better. Like I said, I love part one just because it has a special place in my heart. But this one, it's like exactly what you were saying. I was kind of like laughing to myself. I was like, because I hadn't seen part two in forever. It's probably, out of all the other ones, it's probably the one like I hadn't seen. Like I've seen the most, part one, of course, and then part three a shit ton of times for whatever reason. 4, and then probably this one. Like this one and part 5, I've seen like a handful of times, like 3 or 4 times, and but I watched it and I was like, man, this is a really good fucking movie. I was like, and I was like trying to find ways to critique it, of like being like, well, this is weird, that's weird. But then I started going back to part 1, like for example, when it's towards the end when the tall man has that fucking like thing come out of its head. I'm like, what the fuck is what the fuck is this this thing that's coming out of the tall man, this forehead? And I was like, that's weird. And that there's adding shit now. Like, and I was like, well. Then they cut off his hand or his finger, and then it turned into a fly. I was like, so that's kind of like the connection that, like his shit grows or whatever the fuck. It is some kind of like bug. And then I was laughing. I was like, why the fuck did they add these morticians here? Like it's better with just the tall man and the little gimmicks. And I was like, well, he did have that helper in part 1. that gets he gets the ball in his forehead too, and then these guys are like, his little minions that are like doing all the biddings of throwing people in the cremation shit or whatever. And I was like, well, they're just doing everything else but like a little bit better, because like these two guys with the mullets, they're like way more over than the fisherman hat guy from part 1.
Oh yeah, the low rent mob finger waver collector guy.
Yeah, the low rent mob. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, why are they at this? And I was like, well, they've done all this, but they're doing it better. And of course, dude, that gold spear, I was like, dude, when I saw that thing come out, I was like, son of a bitch, I forgot about it. And so when it came out, I popped for it. I was like, oh, I remember that thing now, dude. So it's like the big boss of spears and shit.
Oh man, that like like we were talking about, like this whole movie just kind of expands on everything, and they throw in the love interest. One particular part though that I actually thought it was like pretty hilarious, like and I kid you not, I kind of had to look into this a little bit more, but I started looking more into this like behind the scenes and stuff like that of this movie, and there's just like a lot of cool stuff. But like one thing in particular, which I thought was pretty hilarious, was y'all remember the love scene, right? Where where Reggie's like making out and he's.
I love your head.
Yep. Yeah. She starts kissing on Reggie's head, and she's all smacking him, and his whole facial expression. And I was like, oh man, it like he's just like, man, this girl is rough. So, this girl is just going at it with him. Before they start hearing noises and stuff like that downstairs. So I thought that was pretty funny, that whole scene. Mm-hmm. But then when I started looking more into this, apparently there was a little more to that scene. So apparently, when Reggie ended up coming back, he's married, and during his wife happened to be available, and she was there on scene during that love scene.
Oh God!
Only for that segment, nothing else for the damn rest of the movie. She was only there just I don't know, just to keep him in check or something. But
it's funny you say that, because I had noticed that part. Now that you're saying that, kind of makes sense, because like when she's there kissing on his head, like her tits are like right in his face. And like he's doing some kind of motion, like if he's trying to suck on him, but he's not doing anything. I was just like, what is he doing? And I was like, that's like horrible acting. But I'm like, well, I'm sure he was like, I'm not gonna get all up to that, because my wife is fucking there, So, oh my God, dude.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood. So Kimmy is an actress, but his real life wife was there.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's saying like Reggie's real life, because Reggie's real name is Reggie Bannister is his real name, but his name in the movie's Reggie also. But yeah, his real life wife was on set while he was having that scene with that chick Alchemy. So I was like, because I had saw that, I was like, this is so bad. Like she's there kissing on his head. He's like, just make it like rewatch it. It's like where he should be kissing her chest and shit or whatever. He's just like making faces, like going back and forth. Like I'm like, what the fuck's he? But now it makes sense. I'm like, oh, he didn't want to get his ass kicked when he got home. So.
You would think the excuse that he would have was just like, hey, look, I was just doing my job. I want to make sure this is believable.
Yeah.
So,
you want me to get hired again, don't you?
Yeah, really. Funny enough, like from part 1 to part 2, though, there was a huge gap, though. There was a huge gap. There was like a 9-year difference from part 1 to part 2, because this was made in 1988 for part 2.
Yeah.
And so apparently I was reading that this guy, Reggie, actually he pretty much quit. Like he said, I'm done with acting. I'm not gonna do shit for a while. And his side job, funny enough, was or what I was reading about, his side job, or what he was doing anyways, was working in a funeral home. And I was like, well, wow, so now you're just going to go back to acting in one where it's haunted. Okay, well.
Wow.
That's kind of like how in WWF, Paul Bearer with The Undertaker, he had done mortician work in real life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Oh.
Yeah, like the whole story with that, real quick, because I know we kind of like touched on it, but didn't fully, is that I forgot how Don Coscarelli, the director, had worded it, but basically they were going to give him a big budget this time for Phantasm II. All these years later, but he could only pick one star, and somehow or another he could only pick A. Michael Baldwin or Reggie, and they went with Reggie, which to me was the better choice. I love A. Michael Baldwin, the first one, but I mean Reggie. I mean you can't replace Reggie. You need to keep him in the film. Like LeGros does a pretty good job on this. I don't think. I mean he's like over the top, and he's a better actor, but like a better actor in a bad way. He's like Reggie, you got to get him out of here. We got to get him out. Like they write him as like kind of over the top of this one, don't you think? Like the Michael Baldwin, like kind of like
you know who Jason LeGros or James LeGros? You know who he reminds me of? Is fucking that Robbie Keane in Cobra Kai.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say Nancy, but yeah, Robbie Keane's damn near spot on. They have the same hair. They have that same over the top acting, and they're so animated because if you see part one, like Michael doesn't really act over the top. It's kind of like reserved, and that's how he acts. Like of course I have a little insight because I've seen part 3 and part 4, so I know. Luckily, A. Michael Baldwin comes back, so everyone's gonna pop for that shit when we get to it. But it's funny seeing their acting styles differ, like because. Part 1, it seems like so isolated. There's a lot of quietness to it, and like that, Michael reflects that. This one, a lot of action, a lot more upbeat. Like there's always something going on. There's no chill time, and this Michael, reflects that. He's like so, everything that he does, even when it's quiet, his eyes, like they're open real, like wide, whenever they're like doing something. It's so. I like the two, big differences. So I enjoy them both, but. Did y'all have a problem with the new mic or anything that bother you, Chris? Nancy, hello?
No, it didn't. I mean, like you said, you need to keep Reggie the same actor because, with a guy who's like a preteen, like A. Michael Baldwin was in the first one, and then if he becomes, let's call him a 20-year-old,
yeah,
you can in your head you can explain it away with puberty and still suspend disbelief.
Yeah.
But a guy who Reggie was already 32 in the first one, and now he's
man, Reggie hasn't aged a day since the first one to part 5, dude. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah, you're not going to use a different actor for Reggie, and the audience is still going to suspend disbelief. They're not.
It's hilarious, right? Oh well. So what did you think? What did you have any problems, Gabe, with the new mic, or did you prefer this one from the original? Well, you've seen 3 and 4 and 5, have you, or no?
Yeah. I have them all.
Okay.
I got all the way up,
So not getting into part 3 or 4, like let's get into 1, 2, and then 3. So how do you rank this Michael? Do you prefer him over 1 or 3, or what do you have it like? Just real quick.
Honestly, like I honestly like him. Like it's just like what Chris was saying. Like honestly, I just kind of coming from part 1 going to 2.
Mm-hmm.
You just chalk that up to like you said, puberty. So I didn't really see that much of a difference.
Yeah.
But if it's anything similar to like I guess you would say like something like Corey Feldman with the whole Travis. Like how the characters change, like, or like Batman, like there's a different actor for that character. I mean, once you start changing them all, I mean, then it starts getting kind of hard to keep track of who is who. But I mean, as far as this one going from 1 to 2, this guy seemed great. He's doing all right. I didn't really have much problems with him. Like I said, the only concern I had was like, man, this character is like, he really takes charge in this.
Yeah.
In this sequel, where he's the leader.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's no reason for me to go ahead and say no, you shouldn't be, because he comes off as a very dominant character. He says he's 19 years old, but I mean, man, you're a dominant 19-year-old. He even calls out Reggie, saying, "Man, you're a middle-aged old." Used up ice cream man.
Middle-aged, the exact quote is, "You're a middle-aged, bald ex-ice cream vendor."
Exactly.
Yeah, dang.
I was like, man,
Shit.
this
When he said that, I heard some black guy in the background go, shit.
No, you heard him go, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that shit is whack.
He came after him. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Like when you see like the first one, you know, like I love the film Mike's Reserve, so it goes with it. This one, that's action. Like you couldn't have that same Michael with this one. You know, you couldn't. And then even going to part 3, that's what I was asking. Part 3, it's action too, but like the Mike goes perfect with that film. And I don't think you really could you could have put LeGros in that one, but you couldn't put that Mike in this one either. You know what I mean? Like this guy goes so perfect with this film. It kind of like. I mean, the other films are great too, but after seeing this, I haven't watched part 3 yet in a while, so I'll see how I feel at the end. But after seeing this film, I was like, wow, this has looked like a great series. Like, I wish they would have kept on going, but I know part 3 is a lot of action too. I kept going in the same path. I mean, where they have a lot of badass chicks in this one, dude. I like both chicks. I like that they have. I think part 3 they had like a big old Magnum gun. But there's nothing's gonna beat the quad barrel. But yeah, I mean, and here they have this one. Like I was laughing, I was like, man, there's a lot of action in here, a lot of deaths. The two mortician guys. I think one of them gets thrown into the cremation thing, and that's all fucked up. Ah, that chick throws him.
Oh, I know. Dude, okay. Let me just say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, see, like. I'll tell you this, Ian, too, like I'm a person that like I find certain things like it bugs me internally and like emotionally disturbs me. I'm not a fucking psycho or anything, but it just does. And cremation and funeral homes those two things just really like I can go to a cemetery and I'm okay. I can go to a mausoleum and I have some relatives, stored away in mausoleums and I'm okay. But just being in a funeral home and then like also knowing that people get cremated, like those two things just get in my head and just bug me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see this fucking guy,
yeah,
getting fucking cremated in the machine, like that just, even though he's a bad guy, like it's just still kind of
Yeah, well, he was selling the screams pretty damn good. I was like, oh fuck, dude. And then you see his hand all like charred and shit. I was like, okay, fuck.
Funny enough, I've actually had a conversation with the wife. We were talking about about dying, and she even said like, if I pass away, I want you to go ahead and make sure I'm cremated and have like a nice funeral and everything. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if the other way happens around, I don't want you to burn me. What do you mean? I don't want you to burn me. No cremation for me. I want to be a corpse. You put me in the ground. In case one day the dead start coming back to life, I don't care if I'm a half-assed zombie, I want to come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, are you serious? I am dead serious.
Tell her.
I don't want to do that. Yo.
Gabe, tell her to read Ezekiel 37.
Tell us what it says, Chris. Why don't you just get us over?
So Ezekiel 37 is the prophet Ezekiel, and he's one of the Babylon era prophets. So in other words,
I thought you were gonna say he's one of the 4 horsemen with Arn Anderson, dude. But go ahead.
I'm doing the 4 fingers.
Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Ezekiel, he's one of these people like all hope is he's in the Babylonian captivity when the temple was destroyed, Jews were taken into present day Iraq. They lost their Hebrew language mostly, except for religious services. They start speaking Aramaic instead of Hebrew, and they're second-class citizens in present-day Iraq. Now, Ezekiel's a prophet, and he has these visions, and he talks to God, and he talks to different archangels, and they show him these visions of dead Jews who are nothing but piles of skeletal bones. And what happens is God says to him, okay, here's a wind from the north. Here's a wind from the east. Here's a wind from the west. So all these piles of dead Hebrew Jewish bones become like organized skeletal structures of individual people. And then another wind comes in and it makes the skin come back on them and their internal organs come back in them and everything. So they look like the people they were at the moment they died. And then he stands them up and then they start to live again. And he says, this is what I am going to one day do. I'm going to raise you up, body and soul, from the dead. And this is what Jesus continues this in John chapter 6. You eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have eternal life. I will raise you up on the last day.
Oh, well,
So we
that's
don't want
what I
to.
want to have.
So we don't want to burn ourselves.
I'm coming
Huh?
back. Yeah.
Okay. So
coming
Chris,
back.
you're not gonna get cremated, right?
Fuck no.
What if you're like in the afterlife and you could see like what's going on, right? And like, you know, your wife's like, you know what, we're gonna cremate him. I'm not paying the extra 75, dude.
I have $300,000 of life insurance. They better not pull some stunt like that.
Some stunt. Some 300-pound ghost is coming after his wife. You bitch. I'm not coming back to life because you wanted to be cheap. I could imagine the old CJ, dude. Anyway, but good. I'm glad we got Chris here. Give us the old background on the Bible and shit, dude. Keep us honest and shit. So now now you're having me second guess, dude. It's not gonna be my money, right, Chris? And then I wink at myself if But so towards the end, like they end up. Why the fuck do they end up at the do they go after the tall man or whatever the fuck? I know. The whole ending, like they end up putting acid in that fucking embalming gimmick thing, and I was like, why does it look like piss?
But okay, that's a key part right there. I'm glad you said that. That's a key important part because you see before they start fucking with these morticians, and these morticians are doing stuff to dead bodies. You notice that machine is sucking out the actual blood, and it's filling them back up with that yellow fluid, the same yellow fluid.
Oh yeah.
When he cut off the
yeah, that he bleeds and shit. Yeah.
And I think what's going on there is these dead people are dead, and let's suck out their blood. This yellow fluid is going to make them, finger in the air quotation marks, live again, but in this zombie-like slavery state.
All right. And that's kind of like where that's my idea of it. That's where I was thinking what was happening. I mean, because you see that yellow stuff everywhere. Remember in the scene with the,
it's like re-animator and shit.
Yeah, like the priest ends up. It is a funny part too. Remember the priest ends up stabbing the damn grandpa.
It was a funny part too.
And, it was funny because the damn grandma.
The grandma sells. The grandma. She fucking just falls, dude. I started laughing. He's all like, "Lord, forgive me." He's like, and then
It zooms in on his face, and he's like, "Oh shit! I guess he caught me."
Like the priest is gonna run her down like Chris with a baseball bat, dude, going after Ray.
Oh my lord! I mean, okay, that thing, like, I didn't get that scene because, like, what evil does the priest think he's fighting when he stabs an already dead corpse? I didn't get that.
Well,
go ahead. I'll let you tell what you think.
Okay, well, my idea on that because he explains it later on.
Yeah.
He ends up saying that he's making prayers to God or Jesus or something. He's making his prayers saying like, "I apologize, for these sins or this blasphemy,
Yeah.
the things that." So he's already seen some stuff. But it doesn't say like how much he's seen. So later, I think either later on he ends up running across the tall man, and the tall man's like, "Oh, we're not going to be needing your services anymore." And so he's like, "Oh shit!" Well, then he makes his rosary go ahead and wrap around his neck and start choking him in midair. But with him saying that, and then the first time you see the father, driving Liz and the grandma in the hearse, he's already looking paranoid. So I can only assume that this guy's already seen some stuff. He knows there's something these people are doing wrong, but he doesn't know how far it's going. So I don't know if he was keeping them alive for a reason or what it is, but yet he knows that there's stuff that's already been happening. He's already been involved, and he's already having trouble because he starts hitting that Jack Daniels already.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic, but like I thought he was like when he was saying some of those prayers. I think he was saying like that he saw like them come back for the dead or something. Like I guess he knows, but like you said, we don't know what he's seen. But he's talking like he's seen the dead come back to life. And that I guess like I don't know if it's the dwarves or like I don't or like because the graves are missing people and shit. Whatever it is, like he's saying like I need to make sure this person stays dead, and that's why he does it, And I was like, oh, okay. And it was just funny. The grandma sees it and all that shit.
Oh man, that was just a good. He goes like, well, because I kind of drifted away from that part earlier. But yeah, so he goes and stabs the damn grandpa, but the grandpa's already oozing that yellow stuff. So at some point or another, that grandpa would end up coming back alive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole yellow stuff is definitely coming from the tall man, and clearly, like when the tall man ends up losing a lot of that yellow fluid, he can still function without it. I say he loses a lot of fluid only because
he's been jacking off all day and shit.
Oh, of course. He uses both hands and he's all dried out, but he can still keep going.
He lost a lot of fluid that day.
He was watching something. He was watching that dwarves get it on.
Hey, that priest is drinking the Jack Daniels. That's not because of all the traumatic things he's seen. That's just because he's a Mick. But also...
Because he hadn't had a beer in 6 months.
Fucking no, but then the other thing too, like I love what he says. Like Gabe, you brought up a scene where he like almost lynches him with his own rosary and levitates him in the air.
Yeah.
And I like what the tall man says right there. He's like, "You think you go to heaven when you die?
Yeah.
No, you work for us.
You come to us."
Well, I was reading on that part. It said that there's a television. When this used to appear on television, there was like he changed it a bit. Some of the wording and some of the gore and stuff like that was changed more to better fit,
TV, yeah,
better censored television. So like that scene, I think he actually for television, it actually says like, "Oh, you're the devil," and he actually says like, "Oh, one of your mythological creatures from your book." No. He can't even save you right now. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, but again, that's like a television version, though, that compared to, like, what we're seeing as the theater version.
So poor grandma. I mean, pobrecita, man. She's already fucking seen her widow now, her deceased husband, gets stabbed by this lunatic Mick, But now, she gets to go home and wake up at 2:55 in the morning. And anybody out there listening to this, when you wake up at 2:55 in the morning, you're not peacefully going to go back to sleep. All the negative thoughts of life and the darkness of the subconscious mind that's at the front of your head now because you've been in an unconscious state and now you woke up. It's not easy to go back to sleep. So you're 70 years old. You just woke up at 2:55 a.m. It's the night after you've seen your dead husband get stabbed by some alcoholic whiskey-drinking Mick priest. And now you get to turn around in bed and see the corpse of your dead husband looking right at you.
Yeah. I was like, imagine, see, that's like a true nightmare, dude.
That shit killed her right then and there, just seeing the shock that he was in bed with her. How do you sneak up in her damn room without being noticed?
She's like, and then I was like, I remember seeing that part as a kid, and I was like, man, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Joe, have you ever seen that movie Lost Highway?
No, I have not. No.
That's a horror movie that I saw 15 years ago, or 11, 12 years ago. You gotta fucking see it. It reminded me of the dude in that.
On the Lost Highway. I thought you were gonna start singing a Hank Williams song, dude. I'm a Rolling Stone. Anyway, we're not trying to get depressed here, right, Chris? That we get Chris, dude. Oh my God! So this whole ending, like I was saying, this film is cool because there's like this like nonstop action. The first one, I love it. Like I said, it's one of my favorite horror films. It might be my favorite, but because it's so strange, I love that. But this film, as far as fun and just keeping you engaged, like we had talked about in the beginning how like it's like Mike's digging a grave. No, this is the sixth one or whatever. How many that I've just dug up? And I was like, okay, can't tell him no. The whole film it just keeps going and like they have that whole like they add the whole the Cuda driving in the desert kind of cinematography. I love that. They're breaking into places like which is funny as hell because I'm like, what the fuck? They're just breaking into. This is when they start adding those elements that places are abandoned and the tall man's taking over things and that's I didn't talk about it, but I was laughing my ass off, dude. I'm glad I just thought about it right now. Is when they break into something, I forgot what it is, and they use the chainsaw and all that, and it says like "burn in hell" or "get out" or something like that with spray paint. And they find it's not the real not Gabe's Liz, but not the real Liz in the movie, but it's like another Liz. Like she's like shaking or whatever, and then the tall man comes out of her back that looks like Freddy 3, the snake. And I started laughing because I was like, man, this shit looks so good, but then they fuck it up with, you play a good game, boy.
I kid you not, that's pretty much what got me hooked on this damn movie was that part. That was like such a grotesque moment out of this whole damn movie.
Yes.
Like, even in comparison to the ending where
he's all fucking being ripped up.
With some acid and everything, and he's like melting and guts and everything, but that doesn't even compare to this damn worm, like you said. Same thing. Freddy Krueger's baby popping out of her back. He knocked this girl up. And so this thing popped out of her back. I kid you not, I was hooked on this damn thing. Not even playing, like, I was so infatuated with this, just watching this the other day, I already started doing a drawing on that. I was like, I have to draw that part. That thing is, like, so great.
Dude.
I'm surprised I haven't even already done it, but, yeah,
I was going to tell you, for, like, these films, dude, you should do, like, a little, like your favorite scene, dude, instead of using like the real like the cover that we that's on there. If you just send me like the picture of what you got, like I'll just add it to the thing because it would look like bad. Like I thought, because the same thing. I was like, that is so fucking gruesome. It's like her backbone is the tall man that rips out of her, and it's just like, and I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, I just laughed at the voice though. It's not like you play a good game, boy, or you play. I was like, what the fuck? Go to the southwest, and I'm like, why is he giving directions? They should have just had him rip. They should have just had him rip out, and then Reggie he sets him on fire, but not talk because it made it like kind of funny. But I saw that, and like you said, I was like, oh my god, yeah.
Screaming when they say that's on fire. And so you would think like he would have a high-pitched voice for being so small, but no, they gave him a normal voice. He was like, oh, he was all screaming after death, but. Damn dwarf coming out of her back too. I was like, man, that thing is great.
Yeah.
So, her mouth is all taped up. She can't even say anything.
Yeah, that's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse is that she's like exactly her mouth's all fucked up, or she's got that shit roped, so she can't even like express or say anything. She's just like, ah. You see the tall man, you're like, it's like a torture, like badass crazy scene. They play a good game, boy. Oh my god, but yeah, and then the ending. It's funny you say that too, because when I saw the tall man get all fucked up with the acid thing, I was like, man, they did a good job with the effects on this one, because he looks all, his eyes pop out and all kinds of shit, dude. Now, Chris, I know this shit's getting to you, dude. So what did you think about those effects compared? Because like when you see the fly from part one, you just like laugh it off, but with this one, you're like, wow, isn't it like a step up and shit? 25 steps.
Oh my lord! That if we begin at the fake Elizabeth Reynolds, because that's the full character name, Elizabeth Reynolds. If we get when they find her in that basement at that first fucking funeral home at that first fucking cemetery, like that was fucking like well done, and I popped for the fact that they quoted from the first movie that. You play a good game, boy.
yeah. Well, he does that. He does that same little like where they do the callback when Liz is fucking like looking around the funeral home like doing the Jody, and he's all like, the funeral is about to begin, and he's like, ma'am, or I don't know.
What he says there, graveside service is about to begin, but of course he's more polite and doesn't end it with girl.
Yeah, graveside service. Yeah, exactly. I started laughing. And she
She
like
just
backs
needs to
up all
walk off.
funny.
She's done.
Yeah, she like backed up all funny, right? I wanted her to fall over. I started laughing because she backs up like staring at him like afraid to turn around. Because like Jody, the first one is all like, "Thank you, sir." He's like
Yeah.
slowly walking
Welcome,
away.
ma'am. Go over there to the funeral now. You got the right one. She's so funny.
Dude, how about that whole fucking ending, dude? I love it, dude, because they have all that action. They have all that action. It's like crazy. They're like setting everything on fire. Like it's like I was like, man, this film is crazy. Like it just keeps going. They keep adding, and then they go to the end, and Alchemy shows up. He's all like, get on in, Reg, and he's all like, come on, hey, why don't you make sure that whatever is dead or whatever the fuck, because there's a casket in the back of the hearse,
Right.
and they're like, and he checks it like, okay, it's empty. They're like, woohoo, or whatever. They're driving around, and that chick rips off her hair. That shit too. I remember watching. I was like, what the fuck? And is it the spear that's there, or is it just flesh? I forget, dude.
No, it's just flesh. Like you just see it, like
Yeah,
it looks like her skin and everything is just like hanging there. I think it's like part 3. I think it's part 3 that you're thinking of, 3 or 4 that you end up seeing that when they pull off like a piece of the side of their skull or whatever.
Yeah.
You see that spear inside their head.
Okay.
On this one, it's just a flesh.
Yeah.
But what was neat about that, I kid you not, I ended up laughing at this part because she goes ahead, pulls it off, and I was like, "Oh dang, girl's like falling apart," And this is like one of those Friday night drunk nights. You're staying up all night drinking, trying to pick up that woman. You finally get her, and then she starts pulling off nails. She's pulling off her weed. And everything.
I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so like you were saying, like things take a turn for the worse. She ends up beating the crap, or ends up killing not killing, but ends up beating the shit out of Reggie. So all of a sudden, Mike and Liz are hearing like, oh man, there's like something going on, The window opens and it's the tall man. So all of a sudden they're freaking out. They're like, oh no. After they were saying like, oh, this is a dream. This is a dream.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Nope, not this time.
It's not.
It says Reggie, the damn hearse ends up driving off with the music playing, but the funny part is that you see Reggie, he's like stumbling and he falls to the ground. So he's down on the ground, and I was like, man, that is an awkward position for him to be laying in. Why does that look so familiar? So I kept looking at it, and I told the wife, I was like, oh, I know what position he's in. You ever seen Family Guy? Remember how Peter Griffin gets knocked the hell out? And his arms all back and he's looking on the floor. That's what Reggie looked like.
Yeah, the way Peter falls all the time, it's fucking hilarious. He's like just, he's fucking like his neck's broken and shit. He's fine though. Yeah, I love that ending when they're there. Like, what's the quote, Chris? I know you had said it the other day.
Like Mike and Elizabeth Reynolds are talking to her, like, hey, it's okay, it's only a dream, and then opens up the limo, window. No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
I was like, man, there he goes, like posing as a chick, and then he was a dude the whole time. I was like, man, he.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it worked for him in the first one. Why not do it the second time?
Oh, so was it the tall man that's the chick? Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah, because that chick's not there anymore. It was
yeah.
Tall man.
It's funny, dude. Yeah, I didn't get that, dude, until now. Oh my god! I see. That's why you're on the show. Exactly.
It worked for him.
That's
worked for him the first one. Why not do it again?
That's awesome. Now I have to rewatch it and thinking that's the tall man, because it's like, yeah, like why does like this chick have this, like, because Mike even sees the vision of her too, right? Because he's like I saw we picked up some woman or whatever. She's like, I think he says like she's gonna die or whatever, and then he's like, oh, then Reg had already picked her up, and then like, yeah, at the end, it's like, well, where did she go and where did Reggie go? And Reggie falls out of the car, and then yeah, the tall man's there, and it only makes sense again, like a callback to the first, but without any kind of hints till the end. It's like, oh, okay, that's awesome, dude. I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's
Because that car is only like, what, a 2-seater in the front.
Yeah.
So then Reggie's out of the car. He comes and, like, expresses, like, hey, you know, this isn't a dream. I'm here. You know, ha ha ha. I'm the bad guy. So, but then it shows the car driving off. You don't see the chick standing anywhere, so you have to assume, like, oh shit, well that was the tall man the whole time.
I didn't get that tone. I've seen it, like I said, I've seen the movie like 3 or 4 times, and that's funny. I've never made the connection, dude. See this, Chris? Did you get any of that or no, dude?
Not quite, but I'll tell you, it could very well be that Kemi was just, tall man in disguise following them doing spy ops or whatever, or it could be that, tall man has the ability to teleport and just magically appeared in the driver's seat of the limo. You don't know. This whole movie is just a little bit of mystery unfolding a little bit at a time, and it makes you keep wanting to see the next sequel. So we still don't know the nature of the tall man and what his powers are. We still don't know why he's doing what he's doing. There's so much that you don't know.
Right.
No, exactly. Yeah, no. I mean, I think the next 2, I think you're gonna enjoy it. The 5th one, I'm gonna have to reserve my fucking opinion right now because I've only seen that one twice because I just wasn't into it. But anyway, so Chris, I want to go. Well, you know what? I'm gonna go to Gabe first. I'm gonna ask his opinion. No. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna go to Chris. I'm gonna ask his rating. What his overall then, because I don't want him to follow what you say, dude. Because I'm, So Chris, overall Phantasm 2, your thought and your rating, dude, out of 10. And what about Nancy?
If we're going a combination of all aspects. Holistically, evaluating it from all angles, I'm going to give it a solid 8.0 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And my reasons for it, I'll do like Don, and I'll give you my reasons. It's true. I am a literary critic, and I do have a lot of friends in politics. But gambling is a harmless vice, but drugs is there. No, I'm kidding. I'm a mafia mark. I have to do that, but literally, I don't feel like the story unfolded in a way that it makes sense or a way that the viewer can easily follow this or anything like that. I thought there were a few opportunities there. I won't bore you to death with what those were. Me and Gabe had this private conversation about it earlier. But I think they could have done a better job in terms of storytelling and narrative. That's number 1. Number 2, as far as from the enjoyment aspect, as far as from the curiosity picking up from where the first one went off, I loved it. As far as just the overall story and the overall foundation of what this is, what the story is, who the characters are, etc., I like it. Even if it is Jason LeGros instead of A. Michael Baldwin, I still like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still want to see what the third one brings to us. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Gabe.
Yes, sir.
What are your overall thoughts and rating for this one, dude?
Well, like I said, I enjoyed this a lot more than the first one. There was a couple of things in here that, like I said, I wish I could have saw more of that shotgun being used. I mean, he was carrying that thing throughout the whole thing, and I just wanted to see more out of it. But I mean, just like little things like that. It was fun. The story was pretty much straightforward. It's just like they're chasing the guy. They reached them, they had their battle, and they thought they won, and they didn't.
Yeah.
Now that leads to a part 3. It's pretty simple, set and done. That's it. Pretty much just visually, like, hey, this is just, you love part 1, just go for part 2. You already know what's going on, so might as well just watch it just for the hell of it, right? And I enjoyed this movie, so definitely going to have to at least, like I said, just I loved it that much more would be probably like a 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
Like 8.5, definitely. Like, it was definitely better than the first one, but there's still little tidbits that kind of irked me a little. Like, why Mike is the leader.
Yeah.
you know, uh, I'll give it an 8.5. Just a tad higher than the first one. They're both on the same par. They both have their quirks. This one is just, just pretty much straightforward. It's a lot cleaner. There's not so much mystery to it. It's just a little more, just an expansion more on this.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I definitely agree, man. Like for me, like I love part one. Cause I said, because I saw it as a kid and I saw it a lot, and I kind of really connected with it. But after seeing part two as an adult, and I'm not seeing it nowhere near, I mean, at all compared to the way I've seen the other ones. Seeing part two, I was like, man, part two is a really fun fucking film, dude. Like I feel kind of like robbed that I didn't like watch it more growing up because like when you're younger, you have more time to enjoy this shit. And yeah, I mean everything they do is amplified and it's an expansion. It's done better. Like we talked about the fucking adding of characters, more fun characters, more better effects. It's a good ass film, dude. Yeah, I have to go with 8.5 as well. When you see the ending with part one, you're like, what the fuck happens? Great. This one, they do it as almost as equally well. It's so fucking perfect, dude. Like the whole ending we went over, and I was like, man, I can't wait to see part three after seeing that. So there, Coscarelli, he's able to hook you on. Like he's able to really mirror what he does best and continue to do it like in different ways but the same. Great director, and like he talked about how he came up with I think it was him that he had a dream about the spear. That's why he came up with the whole idea or whatever the fuck. And it's like, yeah, these films feel, they do feel really dreamlike, and they're a whole lot of fun. All the action elements added to this one, the effects got better. It made me become like a Phantasm fan all over again watching this one. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.